This is Lansdowne ROAR, the voice of the fans. David Dunn here, joined by Mark Prendergast and the annoying little boy from Terminator 2, Connor McAvoy. You're very welcome to a very special Monday night edition here of Lansdowne ROAR. Coming up, we're going to be talking about Kelleher. He's a Premier League champion again. Liam Scales, Adam Idah. They win their respective titles. Captain got relegated. Katie McCabe's in the Champions League final. And, of course, we have all the latest news for the boys and girls in green. There we go. We're going to switch that off. Folks, we have a great show for you lined up here. Of course, we are live on YouTube. We're live on Twitter. And, of course, we're live on Facebook. And it is live. I've only said it about 15 million times. So that means leave a comment, have your say, get involved. Before I see how these two Berbejits are, just want to remind you, of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Don't be illegal. Watch it. Otherwise, Connor's going to get upset again. If you want to support the page, I know. If you want to support the page, if you want to support the channel, because we have got rid of the ads on the streams because it was a bit American TV-ish, you can do that. Go to the link in the description. You can buy us a coffee. Whatever you want to lash over to us, lads, we greatly appreciate it to the wonderful Roar faithful. It does cost money, so, cough up. No, it does cost money, please. Please. I have a three-legged rabbit. Things are quite desperate at the moment. So support the page. Head over to Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. And, of course, if you want opinion, head over to lansdowneroar.ie, lansdowneroar.ie. Done there, chaps. How are we doing? Good weekend?
No. I'll start off.
Who are you going to?
I don't know. Who wants it first?
My weekend was quiet. I did my usual rep trackering, as what we call it, the terminology, and rep tracker land. So I'm alive and well.
Have a land.
We're approaching 2,100 subscribers. If anyone has seen their shorts on the channel, they're doing quite well, and we're up to 2,091 at the moment. So it'd be lovely to get up to past 2,100 by the end of the stream. So just like and subscribe and get us up near that 2,100. But no, it's been a busy weekend for football, a lot of football on. So I'm good. Martin had more of an eventful weekend, didn't you, Martin?
Did you, Martin? Oh yeah, you're out with Ian Hart and Shay Given, weren't you? Friends of the pod.
Yeah, I did have a busy weekend, and I like the fact that you two then know that I'm in recovery mode, and you just say, "Oh, you alive? Are you alive?" So I can't be trusted. Yeah, I did have a really good Friday night. I was out in London, East Aldgate, with Shay Given, Clinton Morrison, and Ian Hart. Catching up with them, had a good opportunity to chat with Shay Given, which we've posted on our socials and everything. So great to catch up with him. Ask him the key questions about Quiveen, where he might be going, and thoughts on the season so far and where Ireland are. So really good. And that was at an event with our friends Jemison, and they did a collaboration with Puma. So there's going to be a little bit more news on that as we go on in the next few weeks. We're trying to do something with them ourselves, and fantastic to be invited down to that. And ended up a bit of a heavy one. And then, obviously, I was looking forward to Saturday, wasn't I? As I keep talking on the pod about, it was a relegation battle that my local team, Enfield Town, avoided with our very own Kean Dillon scoring a goal. I mean, fantastic day at Enfield Town, opening of the newsstand, final day of the season, and we managed to get over the line. I mean, a pitch invasion on the last day of the season, fantastic to be part of, but to celebrate a 5-1 loss.
You were on the pitch?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to ring the police.
Yeah,
that's a crime, Martin.
Right? No, it's not. I'm a volunteer, so get over it. But yeah, 5-1 loss, celebrating that. But ultimately, results went our way in the other games in that league. Fantastic end to the season, actually, National League South. And yeah, I got to catch up with Kean Dillon afterwards. He really enjoyed his time with Enfield Town. The interview that I did with him up in the bar afterwards. He's obviously still in action for the QPR development squad. They've got a match tomorrow on Wednesday against Burnley in a semi-final, and that's done really well with fantastic feedback from Shamrock Rovers fans who've seen him mentioning some former players that helped him develop when he was over there, and also like it's gone down well. Of course,
What were the
with
players'
Irish
names?
Isles as well. Was it? You know what? I can't. I'll have to tell you off camera.
He's a shit for doing that, isn't he? He always does it.
He is a fucking great.
Yeah.
Aaron, something was
Look
it?
at-
Yeah,
Look
you
at
had it.
me.
You had it.
Aaron.
It was in your mouth.
Yeah.
You had it in your mouth.
Yeah.
What was his
You
name?
are steady now. This is a family show.
Yeah.
Venus texting
Well,
at
so
all
yeah.
times.
Fascinating, lads. No, I had a good weekend. Had the day off yesterday, and just.
You had a day off.
Do you know what?
you had
Do you
that
know what?
fun
I'm
day.
actually. Listen. I'm going to say it. I was a happy man yesterday. Watching Liverpool win their 20th league title, and I think it was a joyous occasion. And you know, I'm a bit offended by the two. You don't know this, folks, right? But all fair, they turned around and said, "Now we're not to talk about the Premier League because we're going to upset people." Lads, listen. As if I would talk about Liverpool winning. You're not even looking. 20th league title.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not the sort of person that would do that, lads.
You know what?
This is an Irish podcast.
Embarrassing.
We're
Embarrassing
talking
this is.
No, sorry, Connor.
Highly embarrassing.
No
highly
sense.
embarrassing.
That's better now, isn't it? Better now,
only,
Prendy.
You just said that's a lot better. Yeah, that's better.
Oh,
You
yeah,
did
yeah,
say,
yeah.
Oh,
Dave,
get
that
him
you know
going.
I used to be a Liverpool fan and I used to do this. And now you're
So-
back on that
I'm
bandwagon.
sorry. Someone who's now realised since Fergie left, he's an Enfield Town supporter.
No.
Anyway,
I was talking to someone about that
No,
today. It's
No,
nice to go back to your
Disrespecting
local
Prendy
team.
like that.
Yeah.
That's this is an Irish football podcast. I'm not one here to gloat at all. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Wait
Oh,
for it.
jeez.
Wait for it.
Is it the rabbit? Is it? Oh my god, pathetic.
Gonna put that
Were you playing?
right there? No, but I send positive signals towards the television. That counts.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck off. That counts. Yeah. So obviously we're about Irish football and Queeving Kelleher, lads. Come on, Premier League champion. Could be Man United, but
We're
and of course
looking for,
Connor Bradley from
subscribers here.
Tyrone.
We've probably lost subscribers here with this.
Tyrone.
I know we probably gained. And Connor Bradley, of course, from County Tyrone, the first ever County Tyrone Premier League winner. I believe.
Tyrone, not Tyrone.
Tyrone. Is that how you say
Tyrone.
Tyrone? Tyrone.
I can tell you that's why you don't live in Ireland anymore. You're not welcome.
Listen. You can
Yeah,
tell
and
you that-
listen, this is didn't Meath beat Dublin in the Leinster? Yeah,
Meath.
he's not talking about that now
Meath.
because
Who's
yeah.
Meath, Martin?
Meath.
It is Meath.
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 Gobshite.
Anyway, you're not talking about that. You're not a dub. When they win, you're a dub.
Yeah.
I don't care about it. Yeah.
Oh, when Pat's winning, you're very quiet about Pat's getting battered
don't
by
wanna-
Bulls on Friday
yeah,
night, aren't you?
I don't want to be
He didn't get
upset. In
battered, he
I
lost-
don't want
he
to
lost
upset
2-1.
Claudine, but you are the Robbie of the pod of they've always been my team and my club and on my
Listen.
I support them this week.
Listen, it doesn't matter if I don't support the team as vociferously as I used to back in the day. And he sculpted. I've been in the cop. I saw Stephen Gerrard's first his 100 goal for.
You weren't there when they burnt his shirt, were you? You're not one of them ones. Remember that? I remember that as well.
When's the last time you went to Anfield, Dave?
It's been a very long time, but I lived through the Graves. I lived through the Graves
Remove him
Souness
from
years.
this.
I lived through.
He's the type of guy.
Graves
He's the
Souness
type
years.
of guy. Do you know when they get to a Champions League final, it's like we're going to Istanbul with the Sky remote in his hand. You're that type of guy. Get him gone. Get your thumper back on.
I tell
This
you
is
what,
an Irish football fucking podcast. We want to know this.
Well, I tell you what, you're turning around and saying, no, you don't live in Ireland. I can tell you live in Ireland, Connor. Jesus Christ, get some sunshine, will you? Look at it. Martin and I, nice and tanned. Look at that. We look healthy. You know, someone check Connor's pulse there. Christ.
What you said? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no, we're going for it tonight. But this is going to stay here for the rest of the season and all throughout next season as a reminder to the pair of you fuckers. Anyway.
Well
sorry,
done,
folks.
Queeveen. Well done.
Well done, Queeveen and
We're
Conor Bradley.
proud of Queeveen, but you've ruined it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You've ruined it on him.
Absolutely not. Don't worry, folks. When you start winning again, they'll remember the Man United fans, if they do. Right, let's get into it. What we talk about first, lads? Obviously, well, first of all, Queeveen Kelleher, since, Might as well. No,
yeah.
Clean Kelleher. He's done well. Do you know what? I put it up there on the page yesterday. You know, had a bit of fun with it. Said that Liverpool are on, you know, they're back on their perch, which they are. 20 league titles each now at Man United. But I know the last time, I don't think he played a Premier League game, did he, in 2020, in the 2020 season? But this season, lads, he will get a Premier League medal. It's still 10 minimum, Connor, is it?
No, it's like 5. It's way less than 10. And it's 5 or something. I think he might have played in 2020, but it just wasn't enough games.
Yeah.
But the reality is, people will say, "Oh, Kelleher didn't get a medal, or didn't." But well, he wouldn't have got an official Premier League one, but Liverpool would have got ones made for the likes of him, because they don't get one for even all the staff and stuff, like backroom staff. He wouldn't have got one and stuff to make everyone who's a part of it. So he technically will have another medal somewhere in the house, but of official ones that would be presented to him when on the last home game.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Will you put that away? Come on, we're sick of this, Martin. This Irish football podcast.
We're celebrating an
Fair play
Irish
to him.
Premier
No,
League.
he's deserved this shit. Like, you know, when I look back at goalkeepers like who won the Premier League, like, you know, sub keepers like Scott Carson, you know, he always turns up, doesn't he, having trophy photos and stuff. And you know, I know it's a difficult one being the second, third choice goalkeeper, but Quivin definitely this year deserves a medal, and fantastic. And you know, we know, well documented, he wanted to get out there, was being treated like a slave, but he's kept there and see where he wanted to. But he said that himself. That was the thing, you know, he wanted to go and they wouldn't let him go.
Yeah,
so very well paid.
Like the Irish getting treated like shit in England, and Dave licks up to them.
Yeah. And Liverpool Irish as well. With the
sorry, Connor. Where did you do your where did you go to college?
So he experienced it firsthand.
Scottish England. I seen it. Why do you think I've moved home? Why do you think I've come home?
Because you couldn't get a job over there, probably. And you, Martin,
for the better of my
life. No one works in Liverpool.
That's it. I see a tweet yesterday, Martin. It was like there'll be no one people going to work tomorrow, and then they quote me.
I'm sorry, but like
people work.
I always find it funny when Man United fans like start singing "Sign on," because Manchester is a bastion of wealth, and it's a bastion of employment. It's an absolute.
Of course it is.
The north of England.
Have you ever been to that? I don't think you've ever been out of London. You're not
seen
the guy you'd ask
Trafford and things.
Yes.
Yeah, I have seen Old Trafford.
Lovely area. Why do you think all the footballers live in Deansgate? Martin, he's the type of fella doesn't know. He's the type of fella.
They live in Cheshire.
That don't know anywhere outside of
Anyway. Enough about this. But no, Queen Kelleher, fair play to him. He's absolutely done really well. He's superb. He's put himself in the shop window as well. Of course, he will be going, and we don't know where he's going to go.
Don't.
Manchester United.
David Ornstein has said United don't want to sign a keeper, so stop.
Yeah,
already kind of.
I'll backtrack. Well, no, I'm not backtracking on it because I'd love it to happen, but it's not going to happen. And I saw lots of people talking about today that, you know, even it'd be crazy to even think about going to United. But no, he'll be high in demand. He'll be massively high in demand, without a doubt. So, yeah. No. I mean, I hope he gets a movie, and he's done really well. And look back and his career, he's winning trophies. He's really experienced, and that's only going to help Ireland.
Yeah, no, he's a fabulous goalkeeper, and I thought he did very well. He deputised when Alisson was injured. I mean, it's just unfortunate for him. Alisson's probably arguably the best goalie in the world, and he is. Like, he's absolutely superb. But no, fair play to him. Well done to Liverpool, of course. Just being fair, lads. Also, we had other title winners just north of the border there, past Hadrian's Wall.
They don't live in Northern Ireland, do they?
Get that picture up again, will you, please? I'm being polite. Who's the guy behind?
Like, he looks pissed.
He's very annoyed.
He is annoyed. Who's that guy? Just over a scale. Well, just kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I know there's Cameron Carter Vickers. I don't know who they look, but that's an old photo. That's from last season.
How is it? Have they got the trophy yet? No.
Because they played. It was at Dundee United. They played there. Away.
Yeah, it normally goes to, like, it was a bit annoying, but yeah, it goes to the last.
It's always been that, Dave. It's just so long since Liverpool won it. You wouldn't know that. It's always been
5 years. Yeah,
it's always been that way.
5 years. Yeah,
the lockdown one didn't count, but I'm just saying that's.
25 points clear.
And we are forgetting Johnny Kenny as well is a part of that Celtic team. He was on the bench at the weekend. Obviously, he only came back to them halfway through the season, but That's a photo from last year, so it's probably the easiest photo to take of them two celebrating. But no, it's great to have away from English football. It's great to have two lads winning the title up in Scotland, which obviously isn't a surprise to anyone, but aren't they the most successful team in Scotland now? Chris Sutton has been going on about that. The joke he said last year to Chris Boyd, which is good to see him wind him up. He's I'm not a Celtic fan, but I love to see him get wound up. But good to see Idah get the 2 goals at the weekend, which he badly needed. 17th and 18th of the season. And then Liam Scales, we all thought, I think all three of us, I think all the comments thought that his time at Celtic as the starter was pretty much as good as done after Christmas. He was dropped from the team for all the big games. Even it got to the stage that was, it was a stage before Christmas. It was like Champions League, and when the SBFL or SBL, whatever way they have it these days, he would play in one of the two and Trusty would play in the other. And then it got to the stage where Trusty would play in both. Well, then over what's the last, I'd say, 3-4 weeks, Scales has come back in as the number 1 centre half beside Carter Vickers, and he's been superb. He was brilliant in the Cup semi-final last week. And he was excellent the other day. He kicked the things off with that header for the first goal that came. I don't know if you've seen it. It ended up being an own goal, but it was because of his header. He put the defender in position that he kicked it in the back of his own net. So it's good to see Scales turn things around there and then Idah get the goal. And you'd hope that with the way Johnny Kenny showed himself at Shamrock Rovers at the start of would you say, the English calendar or the UK calendar, he will get a chance over these next, I think they've 5 games still left to play in the league before they play the cup final. And because the league's won, you'd hope he might start at least 1 or 2 of them games, because I'm sure he's working very hard behind the scenes to get an opportunity at Celtic, and you'd hope that he'll get his chance.
Yeah, and fantastic. And of course, the women doing their bit as well. I should say Kay McCabe, there she is. She will be playing in the Women's Champions League final against Barcelona, and we hope Ian Wright won't be a pundit on that game.
No, we mean the opposite, Dave. Before someone gives out, we mean the opposite. We'd love him to be a pundit on it.
Yeah, did you hear? I mean, it's current, so we might as well talk about it. What is that about?
I love the fact he has been a big ambassador and a cheerleader for women's football, right? And even for the Euros, World Cups, things like that. And obviously Arsenal, a bit of a connection with that. But it drives me nuts. I love the fact he's come out and he's saying he's not accepting. He would have helped her an awful lot. He would have helped her. Right,
he's helped her because of her doing things like this. He's actually come out and supported her, and he's actually.
And then for her to turn just shows she's.
Has he come out? Has he? I thought he just said silent. I thought he didn't say it.
Oh no, he's come out and said I'm not accepting the apology. Basically, like he's right. She's
a clown. Like she thinks probably because she was even the same. I know Paddy Kenny is a bit of a plonker, like, or a bit of, but even the way she addressed him a couple of years ago, and. He's an ex. How many senior games did he play for Ireland, or was he just involved in the squads?
He played a couple.
Yeah, and no disrespects an Irish international to me. I always support our Irishmen. Rep tracker till I die. But no, it's just a disgrace. Honestly, it's a disgrace. And it's good. Ian Wright's always said in the past, Katie McCabe's his favourite Irish player. Well, she'll be the first Irish sports footballer to play in the Champions League final since John O'Shea playing 08 or in the Wembley final. Did he come on in either of them games?
I know he played in Barcelona. He played in the Barcelona game, the one where they lost 2-0 to Barcelona.
The Messi header game,
in Rome,
yes. Like, so you can see I can remember that image of Messi scoring the header and John O'Shea in the background.
Here's a little sidebar to that particular game. I was watching the Waterside in Dublin, and of course, Man United pub, and I went down there with a Barcelona shirt.
Jesus, that's let everyone know now. That's the type of person you are.
That's the type of guy you are. In fairness, I went to a pub. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, like, and it was funny. I went in, and I was like, because the reason why, right, I was actually happy when United won the year before, because all my mates were United fans, and one lad started singing about Liverpool, and I remember thinking, for Christ's sake, like, who cares? Why do you care about Liverpool so much? You've just won the Champions League. It's a great achievement against Chelsea and Moscow. It's a great final as well. Like, unbelievable. So I remember I said, I'll never like cheer for United again. And basically, then the next season I went in with a Barcelona shirt, right? And I mean the pub daggers, because he knew I was a Liverpool fan, and I was a fervent Liverpool fan at the time. And it was so funny. At the end of it, the guy that was singing about Liverpool came over to me, and he started like, fucking, "You're a piece of shit, you are." And they were like, I won't say his name, because he could be watching. And they were like, no, leave it out. And he's just like, and I'm just sitting there with a pint, just like with a shit eating grin, like, just what's going on? I'm just, I'm supporting Barcelona, Messi, fantastic. Yeah, look, you didn't get glassed, but that's the kind of guy I am. I don't give a bollocks.
Well, I'm the type of guy that I went to a pub last year, and I went to a pub. Well, it was in Liverpool. Liverpool's all right, but it was with a student pub with all people from all over England. When England played France, and Harry Kane missed penalty, and I was there with a France top on me because I love France.
Yeah, but you're probably safe.
Get away with that. You're safe in Liverpool.
You're safe in Liverpool.
No. In fairness, it was all because everyone was from all around England, because it was a student pub. It was all students from everywhere, from your part of the country.
That's just gratitude, though, isn't it? Like, there he is getting educated in England, taking the Queen's money, and then he's just like, nah, I'm gonna support France. You're a disgrace.
Are you trying to accuse me of not being French? Is that racist? I can identify as who I want, when I want, and what day or time.
try. How about being alive? Just very pale there, Connor. Just very pale.
Yeah,
anyway,
but back to your point though about like basically Katie McCabe, fantastic achievement for her, and I hope they do it. Like, women's football.
Yeah, it
isn't for everybody, but and the standard is debatable at times. There's some levels, without a doubt. I think this as a an attraction in a way. I think it's growing so much, of course, but the top level to like 3 divisions below, the level is massive. I think you've got some exceptional footballers at the high end of international football, and that's even an Ireland squad as well. I think even with our level of our Ireland squad, McCabe and Denise O'Sullivan are well above some of the others. There are girls catching them up and stuff, but I just think the level's mad. Yeah. And that's where we're coming from with it. But yeah, I hope they do it, because they've got a fantastic fan base. Arsenal, the women's game is really, really popular in London here, and they sell out games. Well, almost sell them out at the Emirates, and I'll be one watching that. But I think fantastic achievement for her, and fair play. Best of luck. She's got a lot of grief as well, so it's great resilience from her. I think even dropped this year from Ireland, wasn't she, or rested by Carla Ward and stuff. So yeah, fantastic for her to come back.
No, absolutely. Best of luck to them there, and and fair play to Ian Wright. Something, without doubt, to do one. Like, she's a fucking idiot. Like,
you have to be able to back up what you say sometimes. I think, especially at that high level of broadcast media, and there's too many clips of her not having a clue. Like, and it's lazy. Like, at that level, when you're being paid.
He's scored 19 goals in 40 games. Do the maths.
Yeah, mental. Like, she's come out with loads of these famous clips and absolutely clueless, like, and lazy kind of pundit, basically. But she's getting paid for it. That's where I would call her out. I mean, look, Dave, you make loads of mistakes. We don't call them out, but you're not getting paid for it. Someone might buy us a coffee every now and again, right? But in all seriousness, right? But in all seriousness, like, she's on the pace, and then to say, "Oh, I'm being held back by him," right? He's actually promoted and helped her more than anything.
And also with the women's game, like, it's still growing, and it has had a renaissance since he stopped playing Renaissance in the last few years. With a social media presence, he's on the Overlap. That's done. He's got a massive presence, and here he is helping promoting the women's game. And hopefully, it needs all the help it can get. That's not a knock in the women's game. It just needs people to get behind it, to sort of get over the fear factor of watching it. As you say, it's not for everybody, and that's fine. I'm not saying watch it. But like, I don't know why people knock it, but get behind it. And he's done fantastically well, and she's just an idiot. He's come out, slagged them off, or not slagged them off, but basically said he's taken away opportunities for female pundits. And he's done nothing but promote the game. And then Kelly McDonald as well, who was let go by Stoke. He's paid for a rehab out of his own pocket, £1,700 per month for her ACL treatment. He supported her, supported the women's game. He's only been a pundit on one WSL game, by the way. He's
done the Euro fight. He's done the Euro finals as well, and he was talking. I've I'm in London, in England. You know, my girls are watching watch the Lionesses and things like that, and it's inspiring them to go and have a go at football and PE and things like that. And that's
Watch who, Martin?
And he was saying the Lionesses.
Watch who?
Watch who?
Why would you watch? Why can't you watch Ireland women?
He has watched. They do watch Ireland. Obviously, they do. Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
I hope
he was making
I hope they
point.
watch Lionesses and be in the way end for the other team.
He was right. He was talking about PE, like they're upgrowing. Sorry, them growing up and going to school and going into school wanting to play football now. That was the thing, right? So, yeah, and that was on the back of that. That's what it should be, you know, as kind of giving out opportunities now. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
Which I would wholeheartedly support. And I think, back of that, you know, look, girls are growing up. They want to watch. They know most of the Irish women players, World Cup and stuff. We had the bunting outside of my road opposite the school. Everyone's going, "What's that for?" Because Ireland were in a World Cup.
Hey.
Yeah, I bet you had the George's crosses outside.
And some people thought we were a safe house.
no comment there.
Okay.
I remember my dad telling me stories about living in London in the 90s. That's all I'll say on that. Fantastic stuff, and fair play to absolutely fair play to Ian Ryan. He's right not to take, and we'll move on. But gosh,
I agree. Just last point on that, Ian's right.
Actually, that's in my article, Connor, that you haven't edited yet and put on.
Busy man today.
Busy man. By the way, I'm gonna have an article tomorrow, Connor. Will the article be up tomorrow? The article up tomorrow, and actually, Ian, right. You better not edit that out, Connor. It's not actually a typo, by the way. We're going to move it on, actually. Speaking of one Irish legend to another, Dec Finnegan, the QPR supporter of the year, friend of the podcast, and of course, all around lovely bloke and Irish legend, supporting the Oars over 50 years, and he was voted QPR supporter of the year by his fellow fans. Martin, some words to say for you, good friend? And our good friend.
Yeah, great friend of mine, Dec. Really proud of him, actually. Brilliant support of our pod as well. You know, I sent him all the videos and things I did the other night, and he was sharing them around, especially the one with Key and Dylan.
Any football ones?
Yeah. But no, that's a fantastic achievement. And it was an Irish dominance, wasn't it? Jimmy Dunn got lots of awards there within QPR as well. So, really, like I said, I'm really proud because I know the levels that Dec goes to, even, you know, following QPR as well, hell of a commitment, you know, traveling around for many years now. And also I know as well in the background, formerly the chairman of RIS London, that I've kind of followed in his footsteps, and it was a hard job following in his steps.
Connor.
Or was that me?
Huh?
Oh, I thought that was my internet, and I was like, oh shit.
He does a fantastic job. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Connor's just he's got the attention of an American.
Attention span of a 2-year-old, yeah.
So he's on TikTok.
But just you know, like I know the work that Dec's done for Irish fans, and I mean every Irish football supporter as well, because he's been so involved with CRISC, the Confederation Sports Club. But before that, independently, he was very involved in Irish football, dealing with the FAI on ticketing and helping them understand the kind of mindset of Irish footballers, that we will be at every game, and they had to have a fair ticket distribution process. You know, and just working really hard for Irish fans, you know, and especially the London Supporters Club over the years, where he was secretary and chairman, you know, traveling back and forth the same day, sorting out tickets and things like that for World Cups and travel back in the day when it was a real challenge to do so. So, yeah, look, I'm delighted for him, QPR, because it would mean the world to him. And, he's a great lad.
No, brilliant stuff, and I love Dec to bits, and I'm sure he's got some great stories. Just big shout out to over 1,000 of you watching us here live on YouTube, live on Twitter, and of course on Facebook. If you haven't already, yes, subscribe please to the YouTube channel. Connor, what are we on now?
We are on 2091 still. Probably because of your Liverpool nonsense, people didn't want to subscribe.
Where do you think we got the extra one from, pal? Where do you think we got the extra one from?
That was what we were on.
Let's get to 2100 by the end of the broadcast, please. Thank you very much. And of course, speaking of the year, Connor, I'm going to let you take this away.
There he is.
All
Well,
hail King Didsy! All hail King Didsy!
Steady now.
I don't even know what to say. I'm actually quite emotional right now. Speaking about the one, the only King Didsy, after what was a personal favorite moment of mine was him making the League Two Team of the Year at the ripe old age of 37, proving the age is just a number, proving Martin wrong, proving Dave that Dave disagrees with everything I say, and that life is good because Didsy is on top. But no, great to see the King make the League Two Team of the Year. Well deserved. Shows he's levels above. He's levels above what he's playing. But for the passion of his game, he's gone back to his boyhood club a couple of years ago, and they're guaranteed playoffs now. I think if Walsall and Bradford both lose the last game, they could still get automatic promotion, but I would probably highly doubt that. But Walsall seem to lose everything. I don't know if you've seen the iconic run that Walsall have gone on since the start of the year. They were running away with League Two, and then they've lost pretty much every single game. And now, if you look up their form chart, it's actually scary. They lost Nathan Lowe, who was on loan from Stoke, went back to Stoke, and their season's just falling apart. And they have a huge Irish contingent there as well. And then Bradford went on. I think they went on a record-breaking unbeaten run or winning run for the club, and then the last 3 or 4 weeks they've kind of lost games that's put them back, that they could, if they lose the last game. I think if not, are you looking at the form there, Dave, or are you just looking at something else? And I thought you were going to come out with some stats.
Looking at where Walsall is.
Yeah.
I know where Walsall is.
Them and Drogheda have a good link, but no, it's hopefully we'll see Didsy get promoted with them, because even though he'll be 37 and then 38 next season, he'll still be good enough to play in League One, the quality he has. And then we've seen a few robberies in the League One team this season and the League Two, our League and Championship team this season.
Mm-hmm.
How Josh Keeley didn't get in the League One team this season is a disgrace. Sam Tickle from Wigan got in it just because he's fucking English. And if you look at how Leyton Orient went from relegation zone to now, if they win the last game of the season, they finish in the playoffs since Josh Keeley came into their team in October. And plus he had them moments in the FA Cup should subside. And even though it wasn't in the league, he is so far ahead of anyone in League One. It's a disgrace how he didn't make the team this season. And then in Championship, Josh Cullen was robbed. You could even argue that Finn Azaz should have been in. Obviously, he had Gustavo Hammer, who got Player of the Year, was kind of in his position. Or even Jason Knight had a huge shout to make it. But the fact that Joe Bellingham made the team because his name is Bellingham, it shows, and got Young Player of the Year at the same time. Everyone and their cat and dog knows that Joe Bellingham is a good player, but he was not one of the best midfielders in the Championship this season. But just because of who he is and what he is and who his brother is, and probably the clicks and the likes it gets from, but all I've seen is comments saying, how is Joe Bellingham? Thing is, he's a very good player, and if he played for Ireland, I'd love him and I'd adore him, and I'd be celebrating that he got Young Player of the Year and making the team. But simple fact is, he shouldn't have gotten the Championship Team of the Year. Josh Cullen was the best number 6 in the Championship this season, and it kind of goes under radar this year, because if you remember the last time he was in the Championship with Burnley, everyone was raving about Josh Cullen because of how good he was and how much better he was than everyone else in the league. But because he had that year last year in the Premiership, that he did struggle, and he had his good moments towards the end of the season, but then he had a lot of not great moments. People have kind of thought, oh yeah, well, he's expected to be that good in the Championship, and he's kind of gone on the reader. But it's so obvious Josh Cullen has been robbed in that Championship Team of the Year.
Well,
no, how Josh Keeley didn't get the League One Team of the Year is because he's Irish, and if Josh Cullen still had an English passport, he'd probably be in the Championship Team of the Year.
well, there's no such thing as an English passport. Anyway.
Oh, will you go away, will you?
Well, you'd know.
There is.
You travel on the British one.
Yeah.
You would know what it's called.
It's all controlled by Britain or by you.
Yeah, you're one to talk.
No, but these votes are they're done very early though as well, aren't they? And half these players aren't bothered half the time who they vote. They vote for their mates, and they vote who they think will help them out down the line. And yeah, Bellingham especially, that's the name thing. And you wouldn't be surprised if that's just pushing the kind of a narrative to think might help his career in England. He'll choose England kind of thing. I wouldn't.
Well,
be
he has
surprised
spoken to FAI in the past.
I know he has, but I'm just saying
There's
that's why he's getting so many votes. As if I don't think
someone's trying to claim that it could happen.
Yeah, but I don't. I think I think for me, Cullen without a doubt was for me. But just on the Didsey point as well, I think I'm going to make a bold prediction here. They won't go up automatically, but on the 25th of May, Wembley Stadium, it's destiny. Didsey's going to score the goal to get them up.
That would be great. But it would be a great thing, wouldn't it, to get them out of League Two?
Oh, fantastic! Yeah,
getting his boyhood club that he supported, and the reality is he did turn down offers in the Championship when he went from Derby to Notts County, which shows the level he's at. But in fairness, he's a wonderful footballer and just everything more than goal scorer.
Here's a question for you. Obviously,
there's two of us. There's one of us. Two of us. Which one?
Both of us.
Do you know, Martin? You're right. Didsey is overrated. There you go. Here's a question for you, right? And I suppose this hasn't been spoken about, or I haven't seen it being spoken about. Wrexham have just been promoted to the Championship.
Yeah.
Does that mean that McClean could be considered for the Irish team again if he wants it, if he stays in the Championship with Wrexham? I'm not saying it's going to happen. By the way, before I start getting pelters, I'm asking the question.
I'm going to say yes, without a doubt, because it's the left side is a problem position for us. I know. No, it is.
We've gone very quiet and something.
What?
Why?
No. Let's talk about James McClean. It's fine. Let's be positive.
Don't worry, lads. We've got plenty of time to talk about. But let's focus on.
I've got to be going in about 10 minutes. Let me finish on this point.
Don't worry. We can spend 9 minutes on this and then.
No. Look, I think we're talking about Didsey and a kind of renaissance and stuff. Now I know that the age is going to go against him being considered for Ireland, but James McClean again, captain. Back-to-back promotions, fantastic. Love seeing the footage afterwards and seeing
the royal family chants. That's not very noble of you, is it? For a man who lives in England.
It's not Republican. Sorry about
the chants. James McClean, and at the end, last when he hits the king, and he hits a king.
Yeah,
James
no problem with that. It's a great song. I have no problem with that. But I see you. See, I've been in with the Ireland fans where we've sang these songs, Connor, because as a match going fan,
What are you on about? I'm not like a match going. What are you on about?
No, well, because you're in the posh seats, aren't you? You can't.
For years
we can't wear this.
Anyway, back to the point.
Well done, Wrexham, is all I'll say as well. And it's a fantastic story.
That's not the question I'm asking. Let's answer the question. Jesus Christ.
He could be, if he has a solid start and he will play consistently. He's fit, and his fitness levels are through the roof.
All right.
I think he would definitely be in consideration to come back into the Ireland squad.
Okay. Before I ask you, Connor, Roar faithful out there. Bit of a left field. Oh, we've got a Wrexham fan there. If McClean goes up with the team, that rhymes, and he's playing consistently in the Championship, he'd be 35 at that stage. Would you have him in the Ireland team? Should Heimer pick him? Would you have him? Connor, what do you say? No, it's a question. I'm just asking.
No, it is. It is a fair question. It just
very valid question.
Just makes me feel sick in my mind, to be honest.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. I like McClean. He's been a legend of the country over the last 10, 15 years. A great servant, but it'd be more of a reflection of how much we are struggling in that position, rather than James McClean suddenly becoming a world beater. The reality is, Wrexham are probably going to look to. If you look at that Wrexham squad that's got promoted, it's not been the greatest Wrexham squad. If you ask anyone who watches League One regularly or is a League One fan, the standard League One this year has been quite a letdown compared to the rest. Obviously, you had Birmingham running away with it, but that's just thingy. But no, it's obviously we do have to congratulate that he's not the only one from Wrexham getting promoted. There's also others, Tom O'Connor, Owen O'Connell, who've both been there from when they were in the National League. Well, Owen O'Connell signed during the year that they went up, but he still went from the National League with them, and so did Thomas O'Connor. Both of them got promoted, so they've been a part of the back promotions. And Luke McNicholas as well, ex-Sligo goalkeeper, is a part of that squad. So it's good to see. But I don't know if there's any eligible lads in that squad that aren't actually, because they're all Irish-born lads. But no, he could be considered next year. I'd imagine the certain name that's been relegated will get a championship move, because reality is he is that club's best player. even if Preston get relegated, Robbie Brady will still be Robbie Brady and considered, and then Ryan Manning will be at probably the best championship club, so he'll be picked.
Yeah,
Robbie Brady's 33, McClean's 35. Now I know, like, the circumstance of McClean being kind of moved on from Ireland was by Stephen Kenny ultimately. I don't think he was really
playing in League
expecting
Two.
it.
It was simple. It wasn't just.
I know that. Yeah, no,
yeah,
exactly. I don't
He was
know.
playing very low
And
standard.
that's my point. He was playing at a low level, but he's now come up and been a key pivotal part of that kind of renaissance again. And the other thing is, you've got to remember some of these players, the experience they bring as well, I think is key. Like we talk about Seamus Coleman and his injury troubles. Robbie Brady's had incredible injury challenges as well. But like McClean could definitely come back in and help a little bit. And like Glenn Whelan, like, set aside, I agreed when he wasn't in the squad, McClean, because I thought, look, we need to move on now. But, you know, I think there is definitely, if he has a solid start with them and his fitness levels and he looks after himself, without a doubt have him involved if he's good enough and he's deemed good enough.
I don't think
I'd have no problem with it.
We've
got older players
like playing in the championship.
Yeah, but we had lads go to the World Cup at 38 and stuff. Now I know that was a different time, right? But you know, and it was probably rewarding them for their years of service, like Kevin Moore and things like that. But you know, Stan went; he was a good age, wasn't he, Dave, in 2002? You know, but they could still offer a lot, and I wouldn't rule out McClean at all.
I mean, think about it, right? In the left side midfield, potentially, you could have Robbie Brady could be relegated with Preston. You say he might get a move. You don't know. Callum Idah has been relegated with Cardiff. You say he'll get a move. Yeah, again, you don't know. So you could actually end up with I believe our only left back.
I think Sean Rowan will be an option next season. He's out of contract in the summer at Lincoln. He's been offered a new deal, obviously, but he's not signed it yet. And I would highly doubt he'll sign a new deal because he's ready for that step up to the championship or wherever he'd go from there. He would be an option. In the McClean's not 40 Rolling Stone, but he will be an option. He will. He'll be an option. Even I love to rave about Theo Darmol. I think he's an excellent player. I know Bradford will probably get Bradford. I think will get promoted whether it is championship or whether automatic or playoffs. I think even if he goes back there on loan next season, there was actually a brilliant thing done by Crystal Palace. They do like an academy watch thing where they do it's like a 20-minute YouTube video where they go to the players' club and go through everything like a match week or get training day before training and then go video the match sort of thing with him. And it looked brilliant. And the coaches of Crystal Palace that we're talking couldn't speak highly enough of him, saying how unstoppable he is when he's at his best. And it's just his confidence took a huge knock from the loans previously. And that because he's getting to Bradford now and he's adored by probably the biggest fan and I would say they're probably the biggest club in League Two and probably would have the biggest fan base in League One. Obviously, the recent history isn't great, but what they have fan wise. And then even I'm forgetting Will Ferry as well, which Nick has put in the comments. Will Ferry's has been absolutely brilliant for Dundee United this season, probably the best left back in Scotland. Like if you're the best left back in Scotland, I think he'll definitely have offers in the summer to move on because I see Dundee United fans saying that he will end up leaving. But I'd like to see Will Ferry given a chance, even if it's in June, just to come in and work with the squad because I know Heimer's here for the short term technically and he'll want the best squad for now. Will Ferry could be an option.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if Robbie Brady and Callum Idah are relegated and they don't come back up, like that's surely them done then, isn't it? Like you can't be having them really League One. Like Championship has to be minimum.
Should we talk about that? Should we let Martin explain what happened? Sad news over the weekend. Some sad news.
Yeah,
Callum Idah finally playing at his level.
And Callum Robinson as well, going with him.
Let him speak. Go on, tell us more.
Yep.
What happened?
No, it's just a bit of a mess of a club, though, isn't it? It's been a long time coming for Cardiff, I think. You know, they're just not up to it, are they? And just personally for Callum, though, it's probably disappointing for him because he's probably, I know he's, you know, Connor, you claim he pulls out squads all the time and things like that. He just has been very unlucky with injuries and been the 24th man and things like that in the 23-man squad sometimes, like not picked on matchday squad. And yeah, I think it's going to be a challenging time for him because as he's been made the captain. I know in the circumstances he's been captain.
He's not,
well,
but the thing is, he's not the club captain.
He's not. No, I know exactly, but that's a thing. Yeah, but the perception will be, and I think he's been pretty solid for them. But the perception will be he's got to protect his international career. He's got to get out of there. Like we said, if he goes down, he can't be considered.
Well, Callum has to protect his international career, does he?
Well, he is an Irish international.
Did he pull out of the last squad?
I've just said that. You've obviously not been listening.
Played 90 minutes. Sorry, Martin. I'm slow.
Yeah. But look, you've
straight away for Cardiff.
You've just been speaking about Robbie Brady, who you retired about 4 years ago, and said he's finished.
Reinvigorated. There is a difference.
Yeah.
So I think through injuries and stuff,
he's got to protect his. Actually, Rob, do you remember when Robbie Brady actually left family holiday for a call up afterwards? Remember that, Dave?
Yeah.
A good while ago. Remember he was at the Lake District.
We're not talking about Robbie Brady, though. We're talking about Callum.
I'm just saying that was. I love that mentality.
That's fine. Yeah.
But
so are you saying you don't like what Colin McDowell did? Are you?
No, I didn't say that. He's been injured. He was injured, wasn't he?
But he played 90 minutes. He played 90 minutes for Cardiff.
That's happened often. Know that, Dave.
Oh no, I know you because you're a massive Roy Keane fan, and you probably celebrate that kind of behaviour, don't you? Keane used to do that a lot, didn't he, for Ireland and Man United?
Here he is.
I'm on form today.
But what I'm saying is he needs to he needs to get out of there, and I think financially as well, that renewal of that contract, and certainly as well, Callum Robinson, they both renewed contracts last year. I think there will be clubs that come in for them, or their agents will be moving them out on the wage.
Callum Robinson, definitely.
Yeah, so they've got to get out of there.
He's proven he's a proven goal scorer at championship level.
How that goes down with Cardiff, I'm not sure. But I don't. I think probably even his age now, Idah. Where does he go?
Thing is, actually, and it probably is a good thing actually for Joel Began, who was a under 21 left back, not that where it was Rowan and Adaramola. It was a previous campaign, Crawford's first one. He was the main left back there, and he's been in and out of the Cardiff team this season. So I think in League One it'll be his year of playing every single week. So he could be another option for Ireland at left back, obviously League One. But Callum Robinson, I would go as far as saying I will retire from all things football if he doesn't get a championship move, because I think it's just so nailed on, because he's a proven goal scorer at championship level. He scored goals at that level for years, and teams will want him no matter what. And he seems like a good fella. People seem to like him. And
he'll be on his pro. He might, I think he's on his pro, isn't he? Ultimately, and
I don't know. I think Idah will be like, when I was watching a thing earlier, someone going through talking about the Cardiff team, saying how they could tear up the league this season, and it's like the first thing it was like went through their team to start the weekend. It's like, well, the two fullbacks are nailed on to leave anyway, so it's not just an Irish point of view to think Callum Idah is too good to play in League One. Like when you even look at promoted teams, like could a Wrexham, because I know James McClean is still fit, but he is getting old, and it's not like he's tore up League One this season. He's had a very good season, but it's not like he's went and you've thought, yeah, this lad is way too good for this level. Whilst I think if Idah played left wing back in their system, you'd probably say he's too good for League One level. But
I just think anyone moving to Wrexham with Irish links, I think he's quite a big character, McClean, and he's kind of the main man there as well. And he wouldn't. I know he's been brilliant, but he's so assertive in some of his opinions. I think I'd be surprised if O'Dowda went to Wrexham to join up with McClean. I don't think
Cardiff to Wrexham, that wouldn't go down well, would it?
From people I know who support Wrexham, there's not much of it wouldn't be a rivalry.
Swansea,
Cardiff, Swansea.
It's like Wrexham. It's Wrexham, Chester, and Wrexham, Shrewsbury that really, because they're right in the doorstep of each other.
Northern,
mad, isn't it?
But I think it's fair to say he mightn't be the only left back getting relegated. Well, Ryan Manning has been relegated. It could be all three Irish international. I forgot about that.
Jeez, I forgot about Ryan Manning.
But at least he'll be playing the championship. But Robbie Brady's Preston. I have the championship table for the bottom in front of me here. Well, Michael Obafemi is going to get relegated with Plymouth. They would need to win at least 17-0 on the final day to stay up if with
Oh, it could
Luton
happen.
and Preston if Luton lost. No, not bad. Maybe Michael Obafemi can score 15 goals in one game, even though he's always injured. But he'll be getting relegated with Plymouth, but he will go back to Burnley and then probably be loaned out again. We look at Hull are technically third last at the moment on 48 points. And then you have Luton on 49, Preston on 49, Derby on 49, and Stoke on 50. Stoke, it would take a lot, I think, like all the other teams have. I think all the teams pretty much have it in their own hands that if they win, they kind of stay up sort of job. Hull play Portsmouth in the last day away from home. Obviously, it's away against a team that's actually improved a lot this season, but they're not playing for anything. So you think Hull might go do a job over them with Sean McLaughlin and John Egan, who've actually two of them have done well for them.
Are Stoke safe? You said Stoke are safe. They could still be.
They're
No,
seventh.
they're not technically not safe. They're 2 points above Hull, but it would take a lot for them to get relegated. They played Derby actually last day, who are one below them on 49. I think the two of them will play for a draw. I think it'll end up being a draw. I think Boston will start. We'll talk about Boston more when we get to big, but I think he'll start on the final day. I think the team to get relegated is going to be Preston. Preston play Bristol City on the last day at Ashton Gate, but if Bristol City win, they're guaranteed 5th place. So the whole thing is going to be rocking. Preston haven't won a match since the 3rd of March or the 15th of March against Portsmouth. So they've gone a lot of games without winning games. They've lost a lot of games in a row. Robbie Brady, Will Keane probably heading to League One. Obviously, age probably wouldn't help with them, but I think Hull will beat Portsmouth. I think Luton will definitely be on West Brom or on the beach. And I think Preston will lose to Bristol City. I think Stoke and Derby will draw. So yeah, I think people in the comments can make a prediction. I think Robbie Brady and Will Keane are going to get relegated to League One.
I tell you what, though.
I don't think. Go on.
No, just saying there. I mean, Preston, always a mid-table side, mid-table obscurity, and now, they lost their main man, didn't they? Their captain, Alan Brown, who you lads were slagging off. I'm never one to slag off the Irish players. And he could be heading to the Premier League, and they're going to League One. What sort of an impact is Alan Brown? You have to say it. It's had a fair impact on that team. He's the engine, isn't he? He's the linchpin of that side, and now he's gone. The talisman.
It's not been the type of club they haven't. They're not the best run. Ryan Lowe was doing a good job with them for years, and then kind of went tits up this season a bit. And even they weren't in a relegation. The thing is, they weren't in a relegation battle for ages, and it's just been this horrible run of form that sent them to misery as such. Like they weren't. If you look at their last, if you want to look at their last, like since they lost to Villa in the cup, they've just fallen apart. Because there's no. If you ever look at a Preston team ever, they never really have any superstars or really top players or players that you think, oh yeah, he could go on to be a really good player. Like probably the last time was when they had Tom Cannon on loan and he tore it up. He's got his big move to Sunderland, but no, it's a strange to think that they're going to be there, possibly in League One after being the 12th place team every single season. Themselves and Bristol City were fighting for 12th place every year. Now Bristol City could be heading to the Premier League and they could be going to the League One. But if you two, give me your prediction. Who's getting relegated before we talk about the playoffs?
I think that's a shout, and we need to get on to IB soon as well.
Yeah, I think Preston will go down. I mean, I hope Luton don't go down. In a sense, I hope they don't go down because I don't.
Well, I don't want Preston to go down.
No, I don't know, but I think with Mark McGuinness there, I think he's one that he's a player that I think could be.
I want Hull to go down. I'd like to see Hull go down. Sorry, Hull fans.
No, it's good Irish connection. Hull and Ireland have a good connection. They always have Irish players. I don't want to see them in League One.
Preston.
And Martin, you're missing another Irishman at Luton. Typical. You're forgetting another Irishman at Luton. Come on.
Go on.
Dave's friend. Go on. Dave, you know.
Well, I'm gonna save it for the IBIG. He's in the IBIG, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah,
Millie Allen, who's been
the-
signed, who could be a potential senior international in 2025 if they stay up. But if they go down, he won't move again. He's only signed for them in January. But yeah. And just before we go into IBIG with the playoff race, obviously I said about Bristol City, they need to beat. If they beat Preston, they finish 5th, which would be huge for the Irish contingent. Even though Mark Sykes is out for the rest of the season and Luke McNally has been out for a good while with the ACL tear that he's had. And then Middlesbrough slipped up big time at the weekend because Coventry were beat by Luton, which was a great result for all Irish because there's no Irishman at Coventry, which meant that if Middlesbrough had beaten Norwich, who were playing for nothing, they would have been sitting in 6th place above Coventry in goal difference, knowing that if they beat Coventry, they were guaranteed a playoff spot. And now they're relying on other results. They play Coventry in the last game, and Millwall, Aaron Connolly and Idah Mako go away to Burnley, and they know if they beat them and Coventry and Middlesbrough draw, or Middlesbrough beat them, they finish 6th. Or it could be Blackburn, which there's no Irish involvement because of Zach Kilsennon's injury. They go away to Sheffield United in the last day, and if they beat them, and then obviously the two teams drop points, they would finish 6th. But I think Millwall might sneak in. I think Idah Mako and Aaron Connolly could be sneaking into the playoffs.
Imagine them in the Premier League. Oh my God!
You know, like
Yes,
again, it's having a look at this though, isn't it? Just you know, even these teams then who do go up, like any of the players who possibly could. I mean, look, we know Burnley, Leeds will strengthen, I think, and have a bit of money. Although they've just announced they're going to be putting loads of money into a stadium, haven't they? And Burnley, you know, I think they'll have learned an awful lot from their experience the last time. But then even the ones who go up, any of them, I don't know, would they, or even, you know, they'll be looking at players who have been the best players. Like they may well have gone down, like O'Dowd or Robinson. They'll be around the Championship. They'll be competing.
I thought you were about to say lads that got promoted. I thought you were going to say Burnley and Sheffield United were going to bring back Callum Robinson.
No, they won't. No, they won't. No. That's what I'm saying. That moves it up. I mean, that's a big thing. Yeah. Bristol City, though, that's an interesting one because I'd like a new team in the Prem, basically. I think
with the Irish involvement there. Jason, thing is, I think Jason Knight's going to be a Premier League player next season, whether it's at Bristol City or not. But it would be good to see him captain them. I would make a shout. If Bristol City win the playoffs, Jason Knight is the player of the season for the Championship. Even though obviously the awards are done and stuff, but what that would do to one club, what he's done in the middle of the park for them, he's been absolutely brilliant. Obviously, we haven't seen it in Ireland over the last year or so, but he's been top class. But like I would say, Bristol City, and if Bristol City or Millwall or Coventry get promoted, I'd really worry for them next season because they're clubs that they're not ready to be Premier League clubs. No. They've kind of got, because the middle part from third, I'd say from 3rd and 4th, Sunderland, I don't know, there's a massive club. They've kind of fallen off a bit as of late, but I'd say from 4th to like even all the way down to relegation battle, it's been a really poor season in quality in terms of standard of the Championship. Like that Middlesbrough team should be easily finishing in the top 5. Well, look, if you look at the players they have, and they've completely messed it up. Like, so, yeah.
I know, Dave, you want to move on, but even from Ipswich,
I do, lads.
I know Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton going down. That's where you might have, you know, some of our players moving to them to fight and
the
Championship.
No,
them. They might move out. Obviously, Darragh, I think, will still be in the Prem. I think he'll get a move, but that's where likes of O'Dowd are relegated from the Championship to still be in the Championship. Could be those teams.
Okay, right. We're going to move it on, lads. Thank you very much. We're going to move it on to the IBIG, and then we got to get a comment. So let's fly through this because we have a lot of comments to get through, and I ain't staying here all night. Right, Connor.
Love the enthusiasm.
Just be waffling. Don't get me started. Right, goalies. Shut up. Queen Kelleher, unused sub, but he is a Premier League champion. Mark Trappers, 90 minutes and a 0-0 draw with Norwich for Middlesbrough. Gab Mazuna, he is injured. Actually, he's back at Southampton. I should change that. Josh Keeley, 90 minutes and a 1-0 win over Wycombe Wanderers for Leyton Orient. Max O'Leary, 90 minutes and a 4-0 loss to Leeds United. Of course, that game was tonight. Defenders will move it on there.
That was fast.
Matt Doherty, 84 minutes and a 3-0 win over Leicester City for Wolves. Jacob Ryan, 90 minutes, first start as a centre-back for Everton in the Premier League. 1-0 loss against Chelsea. Nathan Collins, he plays Thursday against Forest, I believe, for Brentford. Darragh O'Shea, 90 minutes, a 3-0 loss against Newcastle, who was a right back in that game for Ipswich. James Abankwah, 84 minutes and a 2-1 loss against Blackburn for Watford. Jimmy Dunn, Player of the Year for QPR, 90 minutes and a 5-0 loss against Burnley. Robbie Brady, 90 minutes and 2-1 loss against Plymouth for Preston North End. Callum McDowell relegated. 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw against West Brom. Seamus Coleman, an unused sub for Everton. Liam Scales, 90 minutes and a 5-0 win over Dundee United for Celtic. Shane Duffy, 90 minutes and a 0-0 draw with Middlesbrough for Norwich. Mark McGuinness, 90 minutes and a 1-0 win over Coventry for Luton. Ryan Manning, 90 minutes and a 2-1 loss against Fulham. Southampton, of course, are already relegated. Andrew Amabamidele, 90 minutes and a 3-1 win over St. Etienne for Strasbourg. Doing well there. John Egan, 61 minutes and a 1-0 loss against Derby for Hull. And Aaron Cashin on sub for Brighton. And Samuel Garcia McNulty, 90 minutes and a 4-0 loss to Feyenoord Rotterdam for PEC Zwolle. Will Ferry, 90 minutes and a 5-0 loss against Celtic. Of course, we've covered a lot.
Manning got an assist.
Did he?
Yeah. It was a lovely assist, by the way. It was a lovely assist. Good to see him whipping it. Lovely set piece.
Shame he couldn't do it. Shame he couldn't do it.
He doesn't get a chance to do it, Ireland. He doesn't get to take set pieces. Robbie Brady takes Everton and smashes it into the wall or flying away.
I mean for Southampton. But anyway, right. Let's move on. You're just an argumentative little shit today.
You were trying to say he couldn't do it for Ireland, wasn't he, Martin? He was about to say he couldn't do it for Southampton. He wants to slag our Irish players off.
I'm not. I would never slag an Irish player. Right, midfield. Come on. Fucking adjudicator sitting there. Josh Cullen, 90 minutes and a goal in the 5-0 win over QPR for Burnley. Jason Knight, 90 minutes and a 4-0 loss against Leeds for Bristol tonight. Will Smallbone on sub for Southampton. Jack Taylor, 86 minutes and a 3-0 loss against Newcastle for Ipswich. Ben Azaz, 90 minutes and a 0-0 draw against Norwich from Middlesbrough. Mark Sykes, not in the squad for Bristol, I believe. Sure. There you go. Jason Maloney, not in the squad for West Brom. Of course, they have a new manager, or an interim manager. Andy Moran, unused sub for Stoke City. Fantastic loan for the youngster there. Jamie McGrath, 57 minutes and a 1-0 win over his new club, Hibs, for Aberdeen. Alan Brown, 12 minutes and a 2-0 loss against Oxford. Of course, they are in the playoffs. Sunderland. Luke O'Connell, 64 minutes and a 2-1 loss against Shrewsbury Town for Barnsley. Boston Wild, 67 minutes and 2-0 loss against Sheffield United for Stoke. Aren't officially safe yet. Connor Coventry, 90 minutes and a 3-0 loss against Wrexham for Charlton. John Joe Patrick Finn, unused sub for Stade Ram. And Milanik Ali, I probably butchered that name, 87 minutes and a 1-0 win over Coventry for Millwall. Right.
Good to see Jack Taylor finally start a game, his second start in Premier League out of, I don't think first in 2025 he started. It's been a long time. It's good to see him start and get 86 minutes. And the biggest news of the weekend to me, Boston is back. He finally got a decent amount of minutes for Stoke with the weekend. I thought he done well. He obviously he's not fully fit yet because he hasn't got match sharpness, but he played as a number 10. He was playing very high up, but he done some very nice things. You could see the real class that he has. Took the ball in the half turn lovely few times. It took a few men to pull him down, or even sometimes the ref wouldn't give him a free kick because the ref was useless. And then he slipped in a lovely ball behind to Al-Hamidi and should have got an assist, but Al-Hamidi couldn't finish his dinner. But it was good to see Boston get some minutes in the leg again and ready to get an Ireland call up in June.
Hopefully. Good stuff. Right, we're moving on to the attackers, and then we'll get on to the comments. And the Pantella injury. Troy Parrott, they play Sunday AZ Alkmaar. Ferguson, unavailable for West Ham against Brighton. Adamida, 55 minutes and a brace in a 5-0 win over Dundee United. Sinclair Armstrong, 32 minutes and 4-0 loss against Leeds United tonight for Bristol. Mikey Johnson, 5 minutes in a 0-0 draw with Cardiff. West Brom, of course, they have a new manager. Rockavata, 90 minutes in a 2-1 loss against Blackburn for Watford. Tom Cannon, 25 minutes and 2-0 win over Stoke City for Sheffield United. It's former team, wasn't it? Sammy Smolich, of course, is still injured. Festia Basella, 10 minutes in a 4-1 loss against Godstepi. I fucking don't know. Casey McAteer injured for Leicester City. Chidozie Benny still injured. I probably got that wrong about Casey. Callum Robinson not in the squad for Cardiff, of course. Michael Obafemi not in the squad for Plymouth either. League One next season, unless they win 79-0. Aaron Conley, an unused sub from Millwall. Tyler Goodrum, 90 minutes of 2-0 win over Sunderland. The dead rubber, really. And Idamo Amaku, 16 minutes and a 1-0 win over Swansea. Was he out injured, Casey McAteer? Did I get that wrong?
On half time.
Oh, sorry, I got that wrong. It doesn't matter, getting relegated anyway.
I have a question for the comments before we start. Big thing going around at the moment. Who would win in a fight? 100 gorillas or 100 men or 1 gorilla? For the comments. It's going viral. Who would win the fight? Who would win? You can give your opinion if you want. I think 1 gorilla would win unless it's like a load of
100 men. Nah, yeah. 100 men easily. Although it depends on how big the men are. It was 100 of you, Connor. Now I'd say the gorilla would win that easily. I joke.
You wouldn't know what to do with them. You'd start slapping them.
What?
You'd slap them instead of hitting punches or trying to choke it out.
Open hand slap.
Nah, but more of a thing, I think 100 men would win because you could get someone to come in from behind. Like if you all go at once, someone get in behind and get it in a headlock or something, or put it. If someone knows jiu-jitsu, to get them and start choking them out.
Are we actually having this?
I can't believe having that conversation.
Jesus Christ! Anyway, so yeah, why not subscribe to the page?
Anyway, the answer's gorilla, but.
Oh god!
This is the guy who goes on with Liverpool and Irish football podcast.
Excuse me. First of all, Premier League winner Caoimhín Kelleher, show some respect. Anyway, right. We're going to get to the comments, but before we do that, please do subscribe to the channel so you can have more interesting comments, such as who wins between a fucking gorilla and 100 men. Why not? You get involved in all that chat. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. Connor, what are we on now? Are we still on 1991?
No, 1990 or when 92.
92, there you go. Fantastic year when football was invented, according to Man United fans. So do subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. And, because look, you don't want to be an illegal. Not subscribe. Look at that, 41%. Connor, you're not happy about that, are you?
No, I'm fuming. I'm still fuming to this day. It's been a long
time. Still fuming. And he's an angry man. And this is top of his list. He's from Ulster, Martin, isn't he? They're all angry up there, really. But there you go. Don't be one of the 59%. We want to grow that. So subscribe to the channel. Head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and a Twitter account. And of course, if you want an opinion and an audio version of this, head over to Lansdowne ROAR. Because tomorrow, Connor, if he gets his finger out of his arse, lazy bastard over there, and he edits my article. Although, to be fair, Connor, it is a masterpiece. It doesn't need editing. Just copy and paste the fucking thing, and we'll be absolutely sorted. Now, right, there we go. You can read that tomorrow at some point when Connor gets out of bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because he's a student. And you can read my article.
Student of the game. Student of the game.
That's it.
Yeah, student. Well, FIFA, yeah. Call of Duty, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so head over to LansdowneROAR.ie. Right, lads, we ready for the comments? Yeah, we're still speaking to each other after this. It's been quite fierce tonight, hasn't it? By the way, thank you to the pretty much 1,500 of you watching us on a Monday night. It's 11:30. Mad stuff. Brilliant. Thank you. All right, here we go. Of course, we are Irish football's most interactive podcast. And don't worry, your favorite anchor, I said anchor, is back. So no censorship here, but Martin, we know what you English are like. Yeah, Mary Whitehouse over
the day off, didn't we? We don't take days off, Martin.
No.
You know what? You know your name is now, Martin. Martin Whitehouse, Mary Whitehouse. There, Martin Whitehouse. That's your name. Straight over, Connor.
Our younger viewers, yeah, they don't know what you're on about.
Martin Whitehouse. Right, let's go over to there. We go. Turner Classic Movies. Over on Twitter, he says Kelleher is a good keeper, but not at the top table. TCM. Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
that's for our audio listeners. I'm pushing my Sabutio Premier League trophy closer to the camera. He is top table, and he is top of the table. Val Maguire, what do you think about him, Idah? I think he says as a player. Later on, Val, Connor, you love Adam Idah, don't you? Try to look
Very
interested,
talented
Connor.
player.
Come on.
He's not consistent enough for my liking, but no, he's very talented. He could offer a lot to Ireland if we got more consistency out of him in an Ireland shirt. But no, great to see him get 2 goals the weekend. Hopefully, kick on to the rest of the season and keep scoring.
What about you, Martin? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a fan of him. Yeah, I think he won't. He's not our top striker, though, but I think he's good enough for the squad, and he will get goals at some levels.
Good stuff. Tony Herbert. Hi, lads. Lots of clubs looking at goalkeepers this summer, but hearing zero on Queeve and Kelleher. Tony in LA. Good man, Tony. Glad you're enjoying over on the YouTube channel. Connor, that's for you. Have we heard any rumours?
Chelsea been looking at him for a while, haven't they? I'd imagine like the likes of Leeds will be looking at him. West Ham, plenty of clubs will be looking at him, but there's been no, I don't know, there's not been come out from like Romano or Orenstein saying this club is ready to launch a bid, but I'm sure things will develop fairly soon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want him going to West Ham, Martin, because he'll probably somehow come out as an England international if he goes to West Ham. But he's tippy top goalkeeper, isn't he?
No, I don't want him in a relegation battle. One of these teams that are, fighting and playing for European space.
So that's why you don't want him going to United.
Well, in European action this week, aren't we?
I'm on form tonight, lads. Tony Herbert, as 33, Brady playing 90 minutes regularly for his club. If he stays injury free and no development on Kirkin or Adam Marola, must be considered first choice left back for World Cup qualifiers. Tony in LA, but that's only Tony, and we did touch on it, lads. Would we agree? That's only if he stays in the Championship. He cannot go to League One, can he?
No, I don't think so.
I hope. I agree with Martin. As I've always.
Hanging up me now, are we? All right. Rolling Stone, the great man Bosun is up and running again.
Love to see the positive attitude, Rolling Stone. I know there's no sarcasm in that.
I thought Bosun did all right, says Nick. He did, didn't he, Connor? He
did, yeah. I was happy with how he done, considering it was basically his first proper appearance since he last played for Celtic in pre-season.
Yeah. Celtic Symphony, face orange TV shape. That's clearly Celtic trying the emojis there, which has not worked out. Tony Herbert, Bosun was so unfortunate to have that ball bounce off his head. Did put a great ball in for a chance late on. He's a powerful figure on the pitch for sure, Tony, in LA. Exactly what you said, actually. You sent me a message about that. You were watching it. You said it was a really unlucky own goal.
Oh, well, it wasn't own goal, but the ball just came flying off his head and then it landed to your boy who finished it.
All right. It's not just the midfielders are shit, says Rolling Stone. There goes that positivity. Nearly all modern midfielders are shit. Michael Owens, except what?
Lennon Miller.
Michael Owens midfielders in the Premier League are shit now, with few exceptions. Okay. Gerard McGann, good evening. Good man, Gerard, enjoying us over on YouTube.
No, good evening. Good evening. He's doing an Unai Emery.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, sorry, doesn't Dave get all the jokes?
Yeah, I thought he understood everything.
Don't worry, lads. I know a good joke when I see one.
Because he doesn't watch football, so he wouldn't know.
I see too. Ryan McDonald, bit of a look into the future. Predict our starting 11 for Euro 2028. Oh, Jesus. We'll let you do that, Connor, quickly.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come on, Connor.
Kelleher, O'Shea, Bamadelli, Collins, Nadara Mola.
Come on, Connor, will you? Come on. Come on, Connor.
Cullen, Bosun, Finazaz, Ike Razi, Ferguson, and Ugbene.
No Seamus Coleman? The man's going to play every game in the World Cup? No?
James McClean.
You made a teaser. They're not play with the World Cup next summer. You're a clown. You should know this. Thank you.
Martin, are you going to take that from him? Rolling Stone, did we qualify? Do we have to qualify for Euro 2028?
Yes.
I think it'd be nice.
No, he means because we're
he means hosting. Yeah, we will.
Someone replied.
They'll all go. They'll all have to qualify. Yeah.
Of course, I knew that.
But then there'll be a back little deal with
It's two teams. the two best placed teams who don't qualify out of us, and then the 3 UK nations and the north of Ireland. But no, the north of Ireland mightn't get a place actually in that, won't they not? Because of not getting the host with the way Casement Park's not getting redeveloped in time, so they mightn't actually get that spot, or so it might just be. It'll just mean that basically, no, but sure, like Ireland, Scotland, Wales, or England, like at least 2 of the 4 will qualify. Like
that has to be one. That is such a huge, egregious act of self-harm, that wasn't it? Not getting Casement Park built for Euro 2028, because I think some people thought that Windsor Park could actually host European. Anyway, Marvelous Patrick, Galway United are flying and doing very well in the league, Mark. Yeah, absolutely. Rolling Stone, the Pantella injury is still bothering Evan. Nothing to do. That's why he missed. Lads, I thought he was ineligible, Evan Ferguson, because he's a Brighton player on loan at West Ham and he can't play for West Ham against Brighton. No, it's a Pantella injury. That's what happened. That's why he's really out, lads. 1,500 on you watching us, by the way. Thank you. Rolling Stone, I believe the 2 highest ranked non-qualified teams out of England, Wales, Scotland, and Republic of Ireland will qualify automatically. Just as you said, Connor, good man. Rolling Stone, we have no chance. Wales would kill us if we played them next month. So would Scotland. But the good thing is not next month, then, is it?
Why would Wales kill us, by the way? Wales,
nah.
I've played against bums. They finished top of their Nation League thing because they played bums. And then early lost to who was it they played in the World Cup qualifier? Was it Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan? They played in was it in Cardiff Stadium? They played them. I think they played them. They equalised from the penalty spot. I remember, was it Uzbekistan or something like that? But no, Wales are crap. Wales have just been lucky that they've played terrible nations. But no, they'd still probably beat us. Like, but no, they're still been crap though as well. But no, I would fancy chances against them. Like it was they drew away with North Macedonia, and it was Kazakhstan who they only beat like 2-1 or something. So
that was it. Yeah, North Macedonia. We don't want to get into trouble with the fucking geography police. Remember that? North Macedonia. Fionn Darcy, if you were to rate each league out of 10 who was Irish players in relation to how the Irish players played in that league, what would you rate each league? Martin, over to you.
Well, Championship for me, strongest, more presence there.
That wasn't it.
But
it's how you rate each. You have to go through each league and rate each league individually.
What, each league out of 10? What? What, with Irish players in it? Yeah. All right, what? I'm trying to read the question again. Sorry, go on.
Come on, Martin. Come on. Read it. Come on. Jesus.
Well, I mean, look, we can only start with we've been in the Premier League. That'd be 2 for me. Not to second. Am I ranking the leagues or
I think you're doing out of 10? I think you're doing each league out of 10. How Irish players have done that season.
Championship would be 8 out of 10, and Premier League 5 out of 10. I don't really get the question. I'm too tired.
I would give Dave. I'll ask you. I give Premier League probably a 2 out of 10 this year because Nathan Collins has been basically the only good player, and Darryl Shea got relegated.
O'Brien, lucky for getting Jacob.
Brian was only half a season.
Connor,
he bring up the 3. Kelleher,
Matt Doherty's just won 6 on a bounce.
Yeah, but still, Ferguson barely played, which does my head in. Ogbene has been injured the whole season. Sammy Smoddock's missed most of the season through injury. It's just been disappointing. It's just been a letdown in the Premier League this year. Championship,
no, it hasn't.
Solid 8. No. You shut up over there.
We didn't have enough any players in the Premier League a few years ago. So
yeah, but no, we still do. But it was just first because I was expecting an even bigger kick on from the previous season, which was an improvement. League One, I'd give it probably a 6. There wasn't as many Irishmen playing in League One this season. League Two, the same. The French League, I'd give it a good 7 out of 10. Omobamidele, when he's played, he's been excellent. And Strasbourg could be about to qualify for the Champions League, which he'd be a big part of. Well, John Patrick doesn't really play anymore for Stade Reims, but the good 3 or 4 a month where he was a regular starter and we thought it was CRF for Ireland was good. And I'd give the Eredivisie a 10 out of 10 because Troy Power has been unbelievable. And he's the only player to judge. So the Irish involvement there has been brilliant.
Well, I would give the Premier League, 10 on 10. because, Premier League champion.
Why would you give it 10 out of 10?
Because Queen Cat is Premier League
Yeah, gotcha.
Because he's a Premier League champion. It's simple. See, I don't need to lower myself to childish pranks.
I can't believe Connor didn't rate the Scottish League. Jesus, you're going to upset people.
Yeah, well, let's move it on. Baylor, McGoldrick in the EFL League 2 team of the season. Am I surprised? Absolutely not. No, good.
I
Have you said
predicted
sorry
it.
yet, Martin?
Hmm?
Have you said sorry yet?
No, I predicted that.
Martin Fitzpatrick. Remember hearing Niall Quinn was at Arsenal when they won the Old First Division, and instead of a medal, he got a discman left soon after. Probably a Walkman at that stage. 89, I think that was. That would have been a Walkman. Yeah. I would have been a discman, Martin. You're old enough. Did you have discmans back in 89?
No.
Do you know what a discman is, Connor? Do you know what a Walkman is?
Cheeky.
Yeah, I know what Walkman is thing. You'd like if you're going out for a walk, it's like the little Philips. What did Philips used to make it, or
cassette
Sony
tape.
used to make it? We would like the CD into, or like
No, that was a Discman. The Walkman
Harry
was
is.
cassette tapes. Walkman was cassette tapes, wasn't it?
Do you know what a tape is, Connor? They haven't come out in Monaghan yet, have they? John O'Mahony, out of Luke O'Connell, Connor Coventry, Gavin Kilkenny, Killian Phillips, and Joe Hodge, who is ready to make a step up? Connor, answer that question, please. I'm the host.
they're all ready for higher level to play. Coventry could win the League One playoffs. Charlton are probably favourites to win that. Kilkenny's playing. I can't believe he's playing with Swindon down. He's unbelievable, but he's playing at a level where you will never see half his quality because all the players around him are a bit poo. Killian Phillips, it'll be interesting what will happen with him this summer if he'll go back to Crystal Palace or not, because he's been excellent for St Mirren. Joe Hodge, I think he'll probably go. I think he should go down the Josh Cullen route of going to like Belgium or somewhere, or going to the Netherlands, because he's probably wasted there. And then Luke O'Connell, hopefully he will go to a championship club this summer. I know he's club captain at Barnsley, but like he's way too good to be hanging about there for any longer. So probably the most likely to step up to the senior team probably this summer would probably be Killian Phillips, because of he done it at a higher level probably, and then probably Joe Hodge after that because he captained the 21s most recently. Or even if Charlton get promoted, I wouldn't be surprised if Coventry made the Ireland squad, because it's preparing for him in the championship next season.
Yeah, no, 100%. And he was brought in, wasn't he? Albeit as an emergency, in one couple of squads. Ronnie Sterling, very predicted after O'Neill were hammered. Oh yeah, 5-1. But Denmark, that we were going to be in the wilderness for a long time. He always says that, doesn't he? To be fair. Ryan McDonald, Ronnie Stone. Ireland don't have to play Scotland and Wales to qualify. We just need 2 of England, Scotland, and Wales to qualify. Then Ireland get in automatically. Good man, Rory, by the way. Well said. Adam Curtis, does Dara O'Shea get a move back to the Premier League? Very quickly there, lads.
Yeah.
He'll be in a top 5 league, and hopefully it wouldn't be. I wouldn't mind seeing him going abroad, but no, it'll be Premier League very likely.
Fiona Darcy, is Rory winning the Grand Slam the best Irish sports moment, or Italian 90? No, just no.
We have a video on it if you have. I don't know whether it's a wind up or not, or he is actually asking, but we've actually video on it. If you go back about 3 videos.
It's in the archives. Martin's not on it, so it's a very good episode. Roy McDonald, McElroy winning the Grand Slam is certainly a superior moment compared to Italian 90. Come on, lads. We're comparing winning to losing. No. Well, no. Absolutely not. The effect, Rory, that had on the country is just, no. It really, not the Martin, no, he was over in England, and Connor, you weren't even born yet. But I can tell you,
Martin probably went to the tournament, unlike you, watching it from home with your Sky.
I was, I think as a moment though, like Houghton 88 was a big moment. Houghton 94 as well. Like Rory, I mean, it's a brilliant sporting achievement, but I wouldn't compare it. Like I'd actually have a comparison with him and Katie Taylor in the boxing.
Rolling Stone. I wouldn't back on either Scotland or Wales qualifying. Minnows, teams like Luxembourg, Georgia, Armenia are getting stronger out there. Moving forward, the home nations are moving back. Has there been any more talk about Evan Ferguson going to Everton? Connor.
Dave.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll ask Martin. I thought Rep Tracker over there would have all the answers. Martin, I'm Rep Tracker. Look at me. I'm friends with all the players. Martin, have you heard? Because Connor's too important to answer that. Have you heard anything about
No, I've not heard anything about that. No.
Moving on. Have you, Connor, by any chance?
No, I haven't heard that, to be honest.
There you go. Talk is rich. We could probably do with Bristol City getting promoted, more Irish back in the Premier, have both Cullen and Knight at the highest level. Rolling Stone. Neither Cullen or Knight midfielders watching McGinn and McTominay, Gilmore are miles ahead of those guys. McTominay with a brace for Napoli. 3 points clear of Serie A.
It's terrible.
Fantastic move.
He's ripping it apart, isn't he? Fair play to him. Ryan McDonald, McGinn, McTominay, and Gilmore are cracking midfielders. Let's not forget Lewis Ferguson and Ryan Christie. None of our midfielders would even make a Scottish roster, says Roy McDonald. Wow. Nick, fuck Scotland.
Pity the rest of the team is pretty poo. They've Lyndon Dykes starting for them in League One.
But do you know what? You just need a spine to the team, really, don't you? Look at Wales. And Rolling Stone, I sense you're joking about Miller, says Rolling Stone. And of course, Knight definitely deserves a move. Playing well for Bristol. Yeah, he's a fabulous player, Knight. Rolling Stone, Brady and Giles, no bad. Our midfielders are, they said, we have never seen worse. Johnny Giles.
Worse about 4 years ago.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. Rolling Stone, I was bored watching Arsenal play a few weeks ago. I actually switched over and watched Ireland-Greece game. Were they playing the same time? What?
This was what the international women's break would have been on during the same time.
Yeah. The women, okay, know how to pass the ball forward. There we go. Rolling Stone, Lisa Fannin is a good female pundit. Of course, I was talking about punditry. Celtic Symphony, Ian Wright, more like Ian Wright, as if he's correct. He's right. Rolling Stone, Danny Murphy is England's best pundit.
Jeez.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, Gary Lineker says he is. Simon Jordan says he is. A lot of people say, I think Danny Murphy.
Of course, what Simon Jordan says, you agree with.
Yeah, you do love Simon Jordan.
I do like Simon Jordan, actually. I think he's an excellent pundit, and he talks a lot of sense most of the time. I think he's an excellent pundit, Danny Murphy. Nick says he is in a shite. And then Rolling Stone asked the question, who do you rate in England as a pundit? I think Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, before they got unbearable, and Gary Neville was on, I think, lads, it's fair to say, when they were just pundits and they weren't personalities and they weren't like.
I don't think Jimmy Carragher is that bad. I think Jimmy Carragher actually is quite. I think Jimmy Carragher is actually decent. Neville, when he was on United, he even pissed off United fans because it's just he's so either like a passionate fan that's so negative towards everything, or really United, or when he's on Liverpool, he's very anti-Liverpool. One is actually I've seen a lot of recently. He's actually quite good. Nathan Manua that used to play for Man City.
Yes.
He actually is a very good pundit. He doesn't be on much, but he actually is but when he's on stuff, he actually goes into detail, and you'd actually learn a bit about football from him, not these pundits, because the reality is, as he said himself, he's actually a very good point that he made, is like, we watch pundits on TV with these ex-footballers because none of us are professional footballers. You'd like to think you'd learn something from what they're saying on TV or what they can add different, but 90% of these pundits that are ex-professionals just go on the TV and they just state the obvious, be like Roy Keane saying, "Oh yeah, David De Gea is the most overrated keeper I've ever seen," or "He was useless," or "He's an average player." It's like, where's your reason behind it, or where's your going into detail, showing us why that's happening, or but most of them just want to say how bad someone is, or Daniel Sturridge starts singing in the middle of it and starts moonwalking, or Rio Ferdinand starts acting like he's boyfriends with all these players. But no, I think if you actually need him Manua talk, he's actually quite good.
No, I agree with actually a lot of that. No, I love Carragher, but Carragher and Neville as pundits, rate them. I think Neville was brilliant when he took over from Andy Gray. Andy Gray was brilliant as well. He was just a bit annoying, a bit over enthusiastic. But I think the problem is for me with Neville, he's on everything. He's involved in everything. And he got his arse handed to him by Ian Hislop. And have I got news for you? Jamie Carragher, again, brilliant pundit. And they're very in depth. I haven't seen the news, so I can't. I'll bow to your knowledge on him. I have not watched him. I like Danny Murphy. I suppose Simon Jordan's a pundit as well. I think he's really good. He's a different type of pundit because he's more business side of it.
Yeah.
But I still think he's a brilliant pundit. He's just a little bit too much of a Tory for me, though.
I don't mind. I agree with you. Like, Monday Night Football was really good when Carragher and Neville first started that. The analysis was very, very good because it did kind of come on after Andy Gray was doing stuff like that. I think they did something in punditry that kind of refreshed it very well. But I get your point then. Keane and Ian Wright will sometimes they don't analyse the game. They just dig out a star player or something controversial that's happened. But I was listening to a podcast actually recently, and it was a good point on this actually. This guy, Adam Virgo, do you remember him playing for Celtic? I think it was Sunderland, maybe with Roy Keane or something. He was on a podcast and listened to him. He does a bit of punditry, and he was saying how when he comes in and does it now, like he's worked with all the big ones. I mean, I don't mind Ali McCoist as well. I think he is quite good.
He's good entertainment as well.
Yeah, he's good entertainment. But what he was saying was this guy, Adam Virgo, he got the opportunity because he was doing like National League, lower level, right? But you have to know your stuff then. You have to know which way teams are setting up and things. And I think he's one that I would kind of follow a little bit now. I've heard him on a few bits since, because I've kind of been interested after the podcast. But he was saying like Sky, and you have to know your stuff from what his career was. He had to kind of create another career for himself after being a footballer, whereas you can get a job as Michael Owen can be a co-commentator because of what Michael Owen done in the game.
Robbie Savage.
And that's what Ireland have done as well. We've brought in people like Ray Houghton still doing it, isn't he? Ronnie Wheeler's still doing it. Jim Beglin as well, your mate, Dave. But they're all still doing, a
good example actually from an Irish point of view of done that is Clinton Morrison's actually done a good job of turning from, obviously he had a good football career, but it wasn't a superstar career he could do it, that he couldn't retire straight away, and he's on pretty much everything that you see in terms of, I don't know whether he was punditry or commentating or stuff, but
he was saying, actually, I know I'm going to drop this into the conversation. I can't remember the player he's on about, but he said Paul Merson, when he commentates, it's a Premier League team. He will, despite this player being the best player in the pitch, because Merson can't pronounce his name, he just always says the number seven or whatever it is. He can't do it. And he goes, it's a bit of a running joke in the studio. Yeah, he has done very well, Morrison. Right. Although he did tell me the other day that Crystal Palace had no chance against Villa.
Right, let's move it on. Celtic 70 would personally like RT shake up the pundits for qualifying campaign. Maybe Stephen Ireland or even Shane Lowry, a massive football fan. Sounds like a joke, but he has a winning mentality. Sadler, who even is he?
Adam Curtis, Shane Lowry in the TV.
Adam Curtis says, with Sirkin pulling out of the under-21s England squad in last international window, do you think we might have a chance for him to declare for Ireland very quickly, Connor?
Well, there's been a lot of talks previously. I don't know where his allegations have said. I wouldn't have been surprised if he was picked, even if, say, for example, he hadn't committed to England, he was just picked for that squad anyway, because that's the way England are. They just pick lads, presume they love England. But I don't know. I don't know. He might want to go to the Euros with England in the summer, the 21s, which is a big thing for every player. You've looked at probably Egan Riley as well, as probably wants to be in that England squad for that. But no, hopefully we'll see him play for Ireland, but I just don't know.
Let's see. Rolling Stone, Shane Lowry is a golfer. Celtic 70 goes Sherlock Holmes over here. William Nevin, a Celtic 70 Sadler is an awful pundit and smug with it. Nick says, I can't even name a good English pundit. They're all a bit shit. Well, we've named several. Celtic 70, Jamie Heaslip is another option.
Jamie Heaslip?
Jesus. Who the fuck is he? Rolling Stone asks. I think Connor's asking the same thing. Well, we know he is.
Most of the rugby player, I know who Jamie Heaslip is.
Yeah, of course. Jack O'Connor, I've watched quite a bit of Sunderland this season. Sirkin isn't anything special. Wasteful in possession, limited in channels, not nippy enough across zones. I'm sure Manning is better. Rolling Stone, we should Jake Paul? I don't know. Van Maguire, what do you think about
Jake Paul? He said Jake Paul should be on it.
Yeah.
The YouTuber.
Ortiz budget gone.
You know the boy who fought Mike Tyson, Dave. That's who it is.
I know, and Logan, a WWF superstar, is his brother. Yes, I'm hip. Van Maguire, what do you think about him? Idah as a player? We answered that earlier. Baylor would love a Didsy in League One. So would we. Rolling Stone, he's only good to bring on as a sub. I think that's about Manning. About Idah. Adam Curtis says Idah is good as an impact player off the bench. That's a fair point. Celtic Symphony, Rolling Stone, who is Jake Paul? Rolling Stone, you must be an old fella if you don't know. Ask Connor. We just said it there. The guy who fought Tyson. Jack O'Connor, I do like Idah quite a lot. I've seen some significant improvement in the way he uses body since joining Celtic. High volume XG, minor. Always in the right areas. The fox in the box type. Rolling Stone. Gary Breen says we should just lump balls into the box. Nick Knight statistically had a much better season than Cullen. Cullen is just in a better team. I think we touched on that, to be fair. William Nevin. Hi, Martin. Do you think United will win the Europa? Come on, United.
Yes.
Do you think, Connor?
One of the rare trophies that we've not won.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Didn't it?
Do think so.
You have won the Europa.
We win the Europa?
Yeah, one of Mourinho.
No, we didn't.
One of
Fuck's
Mourinho.
sake.
No, that's UEFA.
Mkhitaryan.
No,
No,
you
it
won
was
the Europa League.
Was it Europa League? Is that? Oh, we have won it then. Okay, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Go
They
back.
renamed
What are
it,
you
didn't they? It
smoking,
was
man?
UEFA Cup.
You,
UEFA
what,
Cup.
you
No,
never
it wasn't.
won.
It's been the Europa League for the last 20 years.
Ah, Jesus.
You won the Europa League.
Remember
and
when
you
Falcao scored in the Viva to open the Viva Stadium on Porto against
Yeah,
Braga?
yeah.
You wouldn't have known that because you wouldn't have been living in Ireland. But I was at that game. All I remember is Falcao scoring a
Two
header
Portuguese
against
times.
Braga to win it
Jeez, yeah.
for Porto.
United, to be fair, United, unlike Liverpool, have actually won the set cup and a cup. Liverpool never won that.
No,
And,
sorry, I was getting confused. What's the Mickey Mouse one that West Ham won?
Conference.
League. That's the new
Conference
one.
League. Don't you
Sorry.
disrespect Conference League after what Shamrock Rovers done on it?
and
You and your
United will
English
probably-
bias.
I'll tell you what, next season, United be lucky. If they don't win that Europa League, they'd be lucky to get in the conference. To be crying out for that. Rolling Stone may not have some good defenders coming through. Nick, I still like Cullen, but he's definitely not team on the season level over Tanaka, Brownhill, or even Knight. Baylor would bring a tear to my eye if Ditsy gets not promoted. I was going to say experience sarcastic self. Rolling Stone, I wouldn't expect all these comments. Baylor, any other lads from the Wrexham squad that could play for Aaron Connor?
Already answered that.
We have, haven't we? Celtic Symphony, I'm still a working man, although took the day off to celebrate Celtic's title win. Good man, Celtic. Jack O'Connor, flawed mangoes, by the way, unreal music. Jack O'Connor, did he do jazz of sorts? What is going on here? Honestly, I'll be open, says Jack O'Connor, to McClean returning to the setup. He fits that left midfield role like a glove, up and down like a yo-yo, controlled aggression, intelligent, and he has that final ball too.
Intelligence.
Brian Dunleavy was a couple of 100 yards to your right, says Brian. Adam Curtis, trust the use. Give Alex Murphy, Teo, or Sean Rowan a go. Nick says, I'd call up Will Ferry over McClean, and Teo and Rowan too. I'll let you read this one out, Connor, shall I?
No, I'm not reading.
There's something about Jimmy. Bullish aggression, delivery that can only be crafted in the finest post offices, and a mentality that was built in Derry. Personality, think he's our best winger. Celtic 70, Ronan Shaw, stop the shy talk, you tonser. What's a tonser? Rowan built in where? I think you mean Derry. Jack O'Connor. Oh, Jimmy McIntyre part on the LHS is a dynamic I'd like to see. We need a player who can fizz the ball into Troy's feet and immediately make a cute run. Vata doesn't have the intelligence yet. Connor, do you want to break something?
That's his opinion.
Rolling Stone. Yes, we need to call up Tato.
Mr. Tato.
A mentality built in a place that does not exist. I see a bit of conundrum about James McClean. Nick, he's one of Cardiff's better players according to the fans. He'll definitely get offers. That is
That's Joe Began.
Celtic Symphony. Londonderry certainly exists. I call it Derry when I'm home, but it's important to respect British tradition, in my opinion.
What? Celtic, you're a top man, but Jesus, that's an awful opinion.
Jack O'Connor, I doubt he's a terrific player. He will 100% get a move up the league. Cardiff's best
Jack.
player, I'd say. Plenty of
Jack.
years in the tank, too.
What are you just so doubt about it? Is he 30, 29?
31, is he?
He's not 31.
Yeah. Baylor, have a look there for us, Martin. Get Dylan Connolly in the squad to smack a few players. It's Baylor. Rolling Stone, no harm in trying a crisp in midfield. It might be an
30,
improvement.
just turned 30, 23rd of April. Happy birthday, Callum.
He did. I'm sure he's watching. He probably is.
I'm watching you.
Do you actually know what he's referring to, by the way, that Dylan Connolly throwing a few slaps? Did you see the fight up in the north with Lauren and Glenn Toran?
Oh,
After the match,
yeah.
and they were all swinging punches, and actually it was a full-on fight after the game.
All
And
right.
he was involved in that. He's a ex-Bows player. played
He's
in England
handy.
and Scotland. But I don't know. I think he's a dub as well. So wouldn't be surprised like yourself. Probably from Dundalkin.
Volatile.
No, it's tough. Fair but fair. Adam Curtis, Jack Finnazaz. Is that player to be playing them balls? He is a bowler. Definitely Ireland's number 10 for the next couple of years. Roma Shaw. Feckin' hell. Callum Robinson is terrific. PL proven. Rangy legs, shooting tech is peak mint. I lads, I don't know about you, but I'm hinting. I'm getting a hint of sarcasm there.
No, I think this. Oh no, he just plays. He's an American follower. I think he
Oh
actually.
yeah. No, that's genuine.
It's genuine.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he called Derry something else. They call it Londonderry. Don't call Derry Londonderry, Roman, on an Irish podcast.
When he called London, Derry, London, that's the only place you'd like to call him.
They don't even call it Londonderry. Actually, when he say to me, I was like, where? Well, and I'll keep doing this until Derry. There you go. Baylor, Joel Bagan, also relegated, might see him shine and play in the championship next season. Jack O'Connor, Roman, it is 2025. Robinson has lost that spark, that yard of pace, that X factor, that va-va-boom. Forget about it. Did he ever have it? Fair enough for Celtic Symphony. I fell for the troll bait. Celtic Symphony, the what? Tell you what, I don't understand half the Toshni's replies. The feck. I'm going to say, I'd imagine he's saying the feck. I think Roman was trolling, says he. If he's American, who knows? Why describe Kevin Farney? Why are you describing Conor Bradley as an Irishman?
Because he's a proud Irishman.
Because he was born in Tyrone.
True. He's a proud Irishman. So leave him alone, will you?
Yeah, and actually, we could have a picture here. He was a supporter of the Republic of Ireland football team. We just didn't.
He probably still is.
Yeah, he's playing under duress for the North. Allegedly, that's a joke. I don't want to be getting a legal letter through the door. Baylor, just want to point out Sammy Smodic has the highest average rating in the championship this season.
Because he played one game for Blackburn and scored, probably.
Fair. Celtic simply shitting on about trolls and titles. What the damn? Celtic simply, he wants answers, lads. Give him answers. McGuinness and Ali keeping Luton up. Celtic Symphony, maybe it's the alcohol. There we go. Just been pulled out of the pub by the boss. She's driving slow as a snail. I'm in the passenger seat. He doesn't mean the landlord. Celtic, that's his wife, Connor, in case you're wondering. Or his miss, or his partner. Celtic Symphony, I offered to drive. She's gone all woke saying, I can't drive with alcohol. So probably so rambling. Yeah, you can't drive with alcohol, Celtic Symphony, and you shouldn't drive with alcohol. Do not drive with alcohol. She's absolutely right. Listen to the boss. Do not drink and drive. Not right, Martin?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that as a hint. And you either, Connor, because you both drive cars. You both drive me around the place. Fucking drive me around the bend, but don't drink and drive. Conor Bradley is an Irish Noel Donovan. He was born in Tyrone. He is Irish. Rolling Stone. Who would have thought that wordplay would go over Celtic Symphony's head? Let me guess, Mrs. Brown's Boys is more up your alley. Connor, do you like Mrs. Brown's Boys?
I used to when I was like 12. I haven't watched it in years and years. And years. Have you?
Martin, do you like Mrs. Brown's Boys?
I did originally, yeah. It's all right, but it's very old stuff. Do you remember when Robbie Keane was in it? Do you remember the not the show? They remember he used to just do the Christmas specials.
The shitter DVDs, yes.
Yes. And when he's got good links, obviously, to Irish football, wasn't he? Because he went over in '94, didn't he? They cut his ponytail off, didn't they? McAteer, was it?
Yeah, little mousy pony. Mrs. Brown's Boys is the biggest pile of shite I've ever seen. It's all the jokes from 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, told by a man in a dress.
Yeah, he's latched onto the stupidity of a British audience.
He just rips off jokes from everyone. Oh, don't get me started. So you're all for wordplay, but haven't experienced foreplay before, have you? Celtic, go to bed for fuck's sakes. Don't try a bit of foreplay with the the boss, you might be on the couch, mate. You probably already are on the couch. Ryan, has there been a chat with Dewsbury Hall about a call for senior squad? Connor.
Yeah.
Fascinating. By the way, head over to
all I can say is yeah, because I don't know how conversations have went, but I've not spoken to him in the past, but I don't know if they've spoken to him under Mr. Halcomson or not.
Fair. Jack O'Connor, Garcia McNulty has been linked with Celta Vigo. God,
Actually, he's the other Irishman in the Eredivisie. I forgot about Anselmo.
Yeah, Celta Vigo. They were a big club back in the day. Nick, the gorilla would probably kill about 20, but it'll get tired eventually. Oh god, does the gorilla have a background in street fighting? Asks E. Rolling Stone. Philomena Thunk would Kunk would not only be way over your head, she would be out of your league. Your family are so inbred they would make tinkers look genetically poor.
Oh my god.
Wow, what's that about?
That's a TV show, Philomena Kunk. Have you seen it? No?
No. I thought you said something else.
It's just her. It's a little bit like she interviews people. Well, she just chats about like the world and then it's a girl from Afterlife and
yeah, I know her. Yeah, she's very deadpan and she
very deadpan. Yeah, a bit like Ali G used to do, wasn't it?
Yeah, except less offensive. Surely Alex Murphy gets a championship loan next season. Anyone?
Yeah, good chance. I think he'd probably go into pre-season again with Newcastle and impress.
Okay. Rolling Stone, let's ask Celtic Symphony. He has been far the closest links to the gorilla. Again, not sure what that's supposed to mean, Stone. And Celtic's the one on the gorilla. And he's the one on the booze as well, so he's making more sense. Rolling Stone, don't worry, I'm sure someone on here will explain to you. I'll give you a hit. It isn't a compliment. Garcia McNulty, Baylor. Tony Harwood, if Bristol don't go up, could you see Knight and Armstrong moving? Surely Knight needs a new challenge, Tony, in LA.
Sinclair won't, because he's just not scored enough goals, even though he would offer, he's a profile offer something, he's just not scored enough goals to get a Premier League move yet, unless they go up. And they spent, what was it, 3 million on him last summer, so no. But Knight, yeah, definitely.
Celtic Symphony, McElroy, better achievement, Italian 90, a better moment. Do you know what? I can't fault that.
That's what I said to you. That's what I said.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. I've only somebody made that point earlier, Martin.
That's why I said it's a bigger achievement to win that. It's just better for the country that it held United.
All right, Connor. I'll give you your flowers. Is that what you kids say? William Nevin, Keith Andrews is an underrated pundit. I think he's a good pundit, actually. Yeah.
He's not really on the punditry, isn't he? Because he's working for Brentford.
That's where he's at, Brentford. Jack O'Connor, Jill Scott is superb, I think.
No,
she is decent. No, I think she is good. I think she's decent.
She's one of the better women. To be fair, actually, yeah, I'll take that back, because I'm comparing her probably maybe unfairly with other women pundits who some of them are absolutely fucking dreadful. They are, though. They are. Let's be honest. Jesus,
it's not just like the blokes are dreadful.
I mean, I know that. Yeah, but like
Daniel Slurridge, dreadful.
Yeah,
and we get that little play in it. Never mind. Absolutely dreadful pundit. Him and Jamie Redknapp. Holy Christ. Jamie Delaney is the best Irish pundit. Hard hitting, facts, no filter.
He is the worst pundit in the world. I hate that man so much. Terrible player, terrible pundit. Thank God he barely played for Ireland.
Sharp dresser though, and a hell of a jawline. Hell of a fucking David Coulthard thing going on there, man. Herbert, there's been a recent progression with English left backs, Lewis Kelly, etc. You think Sirkin might think carefully about his future? If a Dublin-born player doesn't play for Ireland, I'm lost. Be mad, wouldn't it? Says Tony in LA. I think Sirkin would choose Latvia over us anyway. Doubt he even remembers his years living in Ireland as he was only a baby. Cash facts, guys. Forgot Johnny Kenny has made 4 appearances for Celtic this season, so they will probably give him a medal too. No, Connor did say it, to be fair. He did say
he'll probably play more, like he's been on the bench since coming back from injury.
Yeah. There's a street in LA in the Hollywood Hills called Londonderry place. Drives me nuts, Tony in LA. Good man, Tony. Aaron Gubbins. Well, that's... Huh?
I didn't know that.
No, hadn't a clue. Never been to LA. Been to Miami. Don't go to Miami.
We'll go next year, aren't we?
Yeah.
Check it out next year.
Yeah, when we qualify for the World Cup.
Flight's already booked.
That's where fucking... Well, I tell you what, I'd say flights will be very cheap to America next year, lads. What do you reckon? It's going over there. Aaron Gubbins. Well, lads, great show, as usual. Thank you. Great to have the three of you on. Thank you. Any of you watch the Baller League? And also, do you think Darragh Shea will leave Ipswich? I personally believe he's a Premier League centre half. Connor, do you watch the Baller League?
No, I don't, but it's good to see actually Brian Lee, a former club in Ireland, played for Melview FC before he moved to England. Himself, his brother, actually Brandon, plays for Burnley. He plays for Burnley in the 21s. So it's good to have actually an Irishman is probably the best player in the Baller League. He won the National League Northwest Premier Division with Bury FC, who've had a great story of coming back to life, and probably their best player, while capable of playing at a higher level, and he's shown that in that Baller League. You can tell he's a serious footballer, but I don't watch the Baller League, but it's great to see that he is doing so well in that, and as an Irishman, that is probably the best player in it.
Darragh Shea, he's got a league. Premier League, yeah.
Yeah, we all agree that.
Aaron Gubbins, have you gained any more subscribers, or do you still have illegal streamers? We still always have illegal streamers. We haven't actually, Aaron. We're still on 2092. So if you wouldn't mind, spread the word, please. Fionn and Darcy, this is such an entertaining podcast. The woman just shouted over, what shite are you listening to?
Tell that woman. Oh no, it's
to subscribe.
Take her phone and make her
subscribe. Get her phone. I know she's a phoner had. Tell her to subscribe and follow Rep Tracker.
1,700 of you watching us on a Monday night. Mental. Brilliant. Kunk is hilarious, is he? Yeah, she's quite good, actually. Rolling Stone looks like Celtic 70 has a drink problem. Yeah, he was thrown out of the pub. Scuzzy, Rolling Stone, why do you comment constantly when you seem to hate everyone here and Irish football? Celtic Symphony, enough from you, Rolling Stone. And Rolling Stone answers, the truth hurts. I'm going to bed, says Celtic Symphony. I had to let the dog out. Are you talking about the butt? No. IFB Media. Thank you, Connor. Well said. What did you say, Connor?
I don't know, Bill. I know it must have been something about, was it when we were talking about McElroy? I don't know. I don't think Bill would like McElroy, so I don't know.
No, he doesn't like fucking anybody. Bill, if you're watching, and I know you are, there you go. Have some of that, lad. Have some of that as well, kind of rubbing your fucking eyes. Show a bit of respect. Premier League champion over here.
Oh, Damien Delaney being Bill hates that man.
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Aaron Gubbins, yeah, Brandon Lee is class, scored for tonight.
Brian. That's
Brandon
Lee's brother.
The angry ginger is very painful, says Aaron Gubbins. Which one are you talking about? You talking about the one that has a lovely bit of a suntan, or are you talking about the
lighting? It's the lighting. Nice beard there. You can't grow a beard despite your age. No, but angry ginger is very painful to listen to. He's very frustrating to listen to.
That is just a low blow. There. By the way, I had a clean shave before this podcast started, and it's just gross. Rolling Stone, there's a man on here who shamefully drinks and drives, putting people's lives in danger, and I'm the bad guy.
That's not true.
He did not say he drinks and drives.
He doesn't drink and drive.
No, his wife.
He was joking that he wanted to drive, but it's a joke about being woke. I mean, I get told off for not understanding his jokes. Even I get that one.
Yeah, there you go.
I get told off for drinking and driving.
No, you just censored him, Mark.
That was a joke.
Yeah,
I censored
right.
him. I don't read out the nonsense.
Okay, and that is it, folks. Thank you very much. We've built up a bit of a mad community there. The Angry Ginge is an influencer. Right, I thought you were talking about Connor.
Under the influencer.
And by the way, people need to subscribe right now before I get very angry.
Right now, or Connor is gonna get very angry. Angrier. Anyway, right, we're gonna leave it there, folks. Thank you so much. I'm gonna say this because Celtic simply does need to answer this. I'm obviously joking. I have a lot of shame for drinking. Good man, Celtic. Anyway, listen, we're going to leave it there, guys. It's been another mad night here on a Premier League winning edition of Lansdowne ROAR. Sorry, but
it just still goes on. It just
Brawley Stone, and it's going to go on through the night, and we're not going to. We're going to leave it there. But listen, thank you very much, folks. We are going to call it a night here. The Raw faithful, wonderful, just under 1,700 of you watching us here past midnight on the Monday. Mental stuff, and you are beautiful and wonderful. Even you, Celtic, and even you, Rolling Stone, still at it, like zig and zag. Right, we're gonna go. Yeah, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Otherwise, Connor will become the Angry Ginge. Head over to Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. We will have a League of Ireland episode for you in the next couple of days. League of Ireland review. Of course, we will be live next Monday again. Same time, 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Irish and UK time. Lads, thank you very much for coming on. Thank you guys for watching. I'm David Dunn. He's Conor McAvoy. That's Martin Prendergast, sadly. And this is... I love you, Martin. And this is Lansdowne ROAR, and we are out of here. Good night. God bless. And come on, you boys in green.